I think it
All
is
right.
now time. We're going to go ahead and move it along to the next segment of our show, which, of course, is the patch notes. Let me go ahead and do that. Oh, look at that cool transition we have now.
Oh, let's see it.
Oh, shit. Something happened, I assume. It doesn't.
Point in
Yeah,
progress.
it did. Yes, it did.
I saw a button come up on the screen that said point in progress.
Yeah, there you go.
Hell yeah. Welcome everybody to the patch notes. This week's patch notes is not gonna be too big, mainly because we just want to talk about what's currently happening in the world. But I'm gonna get straight into that. Our first article this week comes from GameSpot staff. Help Ukrainians in need by donating to charity. So everybody in chat and who's listening and that we all know what's going on in the world right now, and it goes without saying here at Point in Progress that we condemn the brutal invasion that's currently going on in Ukraine. There's not really much we can say here on the podcast that would really do much to help, but there is many ways for people as a viewer or a listener to help the citizens of Ukraine. And GameSpot and other websites around the gaming sphere have listed some helpful links to donate. I'll make sure the links are added to the video description here if you're watching on YouTube. If you're an audio listener, I'll make sure that on Twitter we have a Twitlonger with all the links I can find where you can help donate to the citizens of Ukraine. These people need our help. They're very alone in the world right now. There's a lot of talk of people even their president saying that nobody's really coming to help them. If you really want to make a difference and help, $1 here, $5 there, these citizens really do need our help. Like they really do.
Yeah, with everything that's going on, it's yeah. If there's any way people can help, go to the link. I know Crafty just put one in chat right now as well. Go to the link, and if you guys can donate because everything that's going on is just not good.
Yeah. On that note too, as well, on the gaming side of things, there have been updates from developers who are stationed in Ukraine for this whole thing. One of them being a company that's very near and dear to my heart, GSC Game World. I've talked about it many times on this podcast. Stalker is probably one of my favorite games out there. I love the game. I love the team who made the game. They've honestly made some of my favorite games of all time. And it sucks to see that they have to put out a press release. I don't. Do you have it up on the screen, Mario, or should I just read it?
I can put it up on the screen. Give me 1 second. You can read from it if you want, if it's on screen. Let me just do a quick thing here. Oh, I know what I did. I know what you did last summer. Let's see. Sorry for the technical. There we go. Oh, God. There he is. So, Frank, I don't know if you want to read that. You can go ahead.
Yeah, here. So, read as best I can. As of today, the Russian Federation has officially declared war on Ukraine. Our country woke up to the sounds of explosions and weapons fire, but is ready to defend its freedom and independence, for it remains strong and ready for anything. The future is unknown, but we hope for the best, are ever sure of our armed forces and our belief in Ukraine. We thus address all of our colleagues in the gaming industry, players, bloggers, or anyone who sees this post in their newsfeed. Share this. Do not stand aside and help. Do not stand aside and help those in need. Special aid account to support the armed forces of Ukraine. I don't know what that is. I think that's a Bitcoin address, I want to say. On that, the UA 843. I don't know what that is. It says transfers are available from all over the globe. Through pain, death, war, fear, and inhuman cruelty, Ukraine will persevere as it always does. GSC Game World. That's hard to read, man. It's like personally, I've seen footage, like Snapchat footage of people on just walking in parks and stuff like that. It's truly heartbreaking what's going on over there right now. We've also had some other developments from the developer of this War of Mine, a very notorious anti-war game from 11-Bit Studios as well, basically saying the same thing. That we're stationed here. Russia's invaded our country. Here's ways you can support it. Obviously, telling the games media like, hey, you know, I understand games media is games media, but this is, you know, this affects everybody in the world, and we can't stand idly by and, you know, watch it. Developers, the Serpent Rogue as well, have posted about it, as well as Frogwares. I'm sure there's tons of Ukrainian studios out there who are talking about this and how it's affected their homes. I know we all here have seen Zepla HQ, one of our favorite Final Fantasy streamers. She had to flee the country because of that. She is safe, which is good to hear. She is safe in Poland.
With her pets and everybody too.
Their pets and everything, yeah. Yeah, no, fuck this war. It's a dumb war, and innocent people are getting hurt for absolutely no reason other than to be macho. And that's all I really have to say on it.
Yeah. I'll say just on top of that, to make sure when you are looking up things about this, please try your best to look at sources that are well known, or at least very known that they are credible, because there is a lot of mixed information that is being spread about this. I know that there are definitely videos that are just honestly videos from the conflict from years before that people are showing that they're saying are happening right now. It's messed up, and how long this has been going on, just, you know, sort of just in the background while all other life is happening. But for it to be this, you know, so blatant, definitely make sure you're looking at the sources.
If you're looking at footage, make sure the footage is vetted in actual footage. I know dumbasses are putting fucking Arma 3 footage in their videos and saying like, this is the Russian Ukraine thing that's happening right now. Please actually, like, you know, do research and stuff like that. If you're going to talk about it online and stuff like that, make sure you're well educated on the subject and not just putting out false information. But it's innocent people who are actually getting hurt out there. Like, you know, you can say what you want about military versus military war, but literal citizens who have nothing to do with this conflict are dying on the streets, and just make sure that you're taking it very seriously.
Absolutely. This is it's global, and so we all have to take care of our global families. So
I don't really know how to transition from that.
It's hard. It's hard to really.
Very hard. Honestly, when I talked to Mario about this earlier, I was just like, man, how do we transition to tidbits after talking about this? But it has to be talked about. It 100% has to be talked about. There's no way we can glance over.
Well, no, for sure. Like, honestly, like, there was a little part of me that was just like, should we even be recording? Like, I just I just don't feel like, yes, it's awesome for us to be able to sit here comfortably in our homes and have absolutely no problems in the world other than what am I going to do tomorrow? Whereas these people are like, where am I going to be tomorrow? Or am I going to be alive tomorrow? And stuff like that. So it's just a really huge wake up call globally. War has been consistent. This is not the first or like a war that like has just sprouted out of the blue. It's been happening, as Mario said, it's been happening for years. This has just been essentially a consistent stalemate or constant threat. And now we're currently seeing things that have been essentially either stalemate or specifically we haven't seen. Like, there's been issues along the border forever. And it's just really difficult to see, especially with us being in a day and age where we can see all of this play out, and it's not just like, oh, letters from the battlefield. It's literally like we see this consistently. Like, you can't be on TikTok, you can't be on like Twitter, you can't be on anything without
Reddit,
seeing this.
Reddit,
you can't be on, and it's something that we do need to see because it really puts into perspective like this is what's happening, and it's not just like a story or something or just like brushing it under the rug. So I'm happy that we're talking about it. It's definitely really difficult to see because I know, like you guys said, like Zepla, like I've been watching her videos and seeing her entire thing play out from being in Kiev to running to essentially to the west of the Ukraine with her pets and waited in the western Ukraine, hoping that she could take her pets into Poland, which thankfully, thank you, Poland, for letting so many like immigrants be able to go into their country and allowing people with pets and stuff like that, because there's a lot of like, I'm not specific, like there's so many different things going on there that's just absolutely insane. And we are very lucky in the positions that we are, being able to sit across the ocean and just see this all play out on fucking Instagram and TikTok and Twitter. I don't know.
It's wild. Like some of the footage I've
It
seen, like just randomly, like
Yeah, live streamers.
live streamers.
Yeah.
On the grounds in their homes. I brought up I was watching Hassan. Hassan, I'll say right now, not like your news source, but at the very least, he's providing his own critical analysis of it. He can be wrong, but at the same time, he is aware of that and he openly says that. So don't take anything that he says as a grain of salt. But I was watching him.
I've been watching a lot of his stuff the last couple of days.
Yeah, I watched him live when he was watching a video of a YouTube or someone streaming on Twitch when she was walking her dog, and then you just hear a shatter of a missile or something in the background. That was clipped out that day. So again, I think the best way I could say is Crafty Gamer Later in our Discord, and will be like Frank said in our descriptions, places in which you can help. Right now, GameSpot article to help the Ukrainians. That will be something we definitely highly recommend if you can. I made a joke earlier about if you have Twitch Prime, free subs, whatever. As of right now, I would say if you have the inkling to do that, do not. If you will like to, please go ahead and donate to one of those links.
Yeah, give your $5 to something like.
That's right. I honestly wish that Twitch would have done that. Like, hey, if this one, whatever, just like we're switching it so that way you can do it to this, and that would have been cool. But either way. So yeah, I think that pretty much.
Yeah, we will be. I just want to say this before we transition. We will be transitioning to the tidbits. I want to say this very clearly, just so nobody gets it twisted. If we laugh or joke or something like that during the tidbits, it's not like we're brushing off Ukraine or anything like that. I don't want it to ever feel like the reason why I was very apprehensive of doing having a second part of this like we usually do is because obviously we're going to make jokes and stuff like that about some of the topics that we talk about that obviously isn't this news, right? But I don't want it to ever come off as okay, that serious time over, now we can go joke. No, the thoughts of the Ukrainian people are always going to be in our heads no matter what, and if you could support them, good. The next segment we'll be talking. I just don't want anybody to think that we're brushing that off.
And for the people that we might be providing some sort of escapism or entertainment, at the very least, you understand the worldview, but you understand that we are here also for you to have fun. So that's what the show's about, right? But also understand that we're here to help. So yeah, I think that is pretty much well understood. So I think we're good from there.
Everybody good?
I do remember Kate just said something about Unicef. I do remember going Halloween trick or treating and trying to get money for Unicef. That was one of the big things going around.
Yeah,
and yeah.
I remember the it was the orange little box that you would get at school.
Yes.
Harv,
that was the one. That's
and so they would always be around Halloween, and they're like, "Okay, everybody, before we send you off, before you can go trick or treating with your family, let's all make our Unicef boxes." And then we would just make them up, and then sometimes they would have stickers and stuff like that that you could put on the Unicef box, and then go around and do stuff like that. So definitely make sure that don't fucking subscribe. I'm usually one to be like, let's subscribe. I agree with Frank's test, and also what Mario said, and I know Harv can agree. Use the sub towards supporting the links that Crafty has linked. And for people who are listening, we will be linking we'll probably link some stuff in the actual YouTube video as well for access.
100%.
So we really want to make sure that the money is going to the correct places. And like Mario said as well, please make sure that when you do see things online or links or things like that, that they are credible, because there are some disgusting people who are taking advantage of the situation. So please make sure that you're donating to a credible source.
There's no need to try to win Twitter points at a moment like this.
Yeah, don't chase clout. This is not the time. On that note, we're going to be transitioning to the tidbits here. I'm gonna start it off. Actually, do you want to start with your dice stuff, Mario, or do you want to just do it in order?
I wanted to get something to drink. Let me let's do something like the email thing. I think would be fine.
Yeah, actually, because I don't think it affects you there.
No.
So this first tidbit here today comes from my personal email. So I am the source today. Bethesda is ditching its dumbass launcher and letting me migrate my games in April. So
Thank God.
if you were,
the launcher was only there for Fallout 76, and that was fucking it.
yeah. Doom Eternal. I got Doom Eternal. So if you're like me and some schlub who buys collector's editions, especially Bethesda ones, because they're actually kind of cool. They give you this little paper fucking disc in the box, and it gives you a code for Bethesda launcher. And if you remember about a year or so ago, Bethesda launcher, or there was just launchers everywhere. Like every company has one now. Ubisoft has one. If you want to play Cyberpunk 2077 on PC, you have to use the CD Projekt Red launcher, UB launcher, Origin, EA Access. There's so many damn launchers. So for me, hearing that a launcher is going to die and it's going to let me migrate my games to Steam, I'm totally fine with this. I love it. I love
Honestly,
the idea.
I just don't understand. Like, I get that everyone wants to like have their flashy, like, oh, we have our own launcher, oh, we have this. Honestly, I would probably respect you more if you were at a place that's easier for me to access games, because I'm more likely to go onto Steam and play a game there than for me to have to download one of your freaking launchers, because I'm so irritated by the fact that like I currently have 5 launchers on my computer. I have Steam, Epic, Ubisoft, and then I also have EA, and I have all these other ones as well. And I'm just like, why? Why do I have to constantly have, like, I just want to play your freaking game. I don't need your launcher. Please just give me an easy access to your freaking game. Because sometimes I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm so freaking tired. I don't want to have to download everything and then be able to do this, do that to be able to get your game started. No, just put it on Steam, put it on Epic, put it on Xbox, like Game Pass. I don't care. Just don't. If you have your own launcher, F you.
Just stop having your own launcher. It makes no sense to me. Like, obviously this move makes sense from Bethesda because of their acquisition by Microsoft. It's obvious that Game Pass.
I'm surprised they did. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, that makes
Game
sense.
Pass is the launcher technically now for that. Unless you obviously have, Bethesda launcher, because they're going to migrate you to Steam, and obviously if you have Steam, you're just going to stay there anyway. But it makes sense. Steam makes more sense. You have a workshop built in. You have a community built in. You can easily buy your DLC. It's so much better on there. And there are so many times that I log into EA launcher, UB, or any of these other launchers, and I realize I fucking own games. Like, I forgot I owned Doom Eternal for a long time there. I forgot I own Fallout 70. For some reason, I own Fallout 76 on Steam and Bethesda launcher. Like, I forget. I own Star Wars Squadrons. I played it like once, and I forgot I even own it because it's on Origin. When am I ever opening Origin? Like, never.
Also,
just let me move my games.
I just want to say the audacity that some of these other games have to be like, okay, you can play my game on Game Pass, but you have to download my launcher to be able to play the game. I'm like, motherfucker, are you joking, EA? Like, Knockout City. You freaking put Knockout City on your freaking launcher. I have to download it. Like, I have to, and then it didn't even work because half of it was like, I had to launch it through Game Pass, but then I also had to have EA open. And then if I open it up in EA, it would freak out and say, you don't have this game. And so you have to like go through. I'm like, I don't want to go through 10 steps to play your freaking game. Just please make this easier.
Hey, now, Knockout City is free. It's gonna be free to play. EA's got nothing to do with it. So it looks like they're probably going to Steam.
You know what? Good job. Let's do a clap for Knockout City for leaving the shackles of EA, because this is BS.
I mean, it's true. That took me a good a day to get fucking Knockout City working on my computer because of going through the whole system that
you
EA
and I
had.
were doing that together. We were like, what the fuck? And then like Lucas had to come in and explain to me how to download it in a certain way for me to be able to play Knockout City. I know we're off topic because then now we're just ranting about EA.
Ranting about Knockout City.
Yeah, but no, fuck
Origin,
you know what? That's
and
a
shout
pet
out to
peeve.
Joseph Ferris.
That's a pet peeve I have. Unless you're a freaking MMO, you don't need your own launcher. Stop.
I agree.
Stop.
You know what's even worse when launchers have their own like friends,
Even
like, social
even Final
interaction
Fantasy
system.
doesn't have a launch. It's got its own like the launch that pops up, but it's not like it's like
It's just a login screen.
It's
Yeah.
the login screen. All it is a login screen.
It's like if you've ever played old school RuneScape, that's exactly what happens. You open up, log in, and then the game just opens.
The one that
Yeah.
kind of made sense until it became a terrible company, Blizzard, because they had oh my gosh, they had Diablo,
StarCraft.
World of Warcraft, StarCraft, and all those. Those made sense because those are massive games known specifically from Blizzard. But
Call of
like,
Duty.
I know
and they
for a
wanted to
fact,
control their servers, I think, as well,
Yeah.
like to make sure there's no cheating and stuff like that.
exactly. But like, I know for a fact I can get some of these EA games or Ubisoft games or whatever on like Steam, or I can get them somewhere else. So why should I get it through your launcher? Because I remember having to download the Ubisoft launcher when I got my old microphone, my Blue Yeti, because it came with a copy of, oh gosh, Assassin's Creed.
Oh, was it Watch Dogs? I know that was a big deal.
No, it was the Assassin's Creed. Oh gosh, they were in Egypt.
Oh,
Origins.
Origins, which broke instantaneously. Never played it after I drove down the street. My cart hit a haystack and then flew into the sky and then was sideways and then went down the road sideways in the air until it crash landed into a building. Didn't explain why. So yeah.
Oh god, dude, getting quarantined working on a computer was a nightmare. I fucking
Oh yeah,
hated
it was terrible. It was a terrible process. I had to like walk Mario
Extraction?
through it, like
Or extraction, sorry, yeah.
I had to like painfully walk through people to get extraction on their PC. It was a nightmare. It's terrible. But I'm glad. Hopefully, this is the first step. Hopefully, other people like Ubisoft see this, and follow suit, because nobody really likes having fucking 40 launchers on their computer, especially if you have like Punk Buster or like a social interaction thing, because all it does is just bog your system down.
Yeah.
It's shit. But good move, Bethesda. Thank you for letting me keep my game.
I will have Epic
Wow.
and Steam. Those are the two I'll have on my computer.
Which I ran a poll. That is the two ones that people are saying. Most people Epic though, which is interesting to me.
Game
See, I thought it
Pass
gives you
is also-
free games.
Free games, yeah. Epic
Yeah.
gives you free
Free games.
games. Fuck yeah, dude. Give me free games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On that
I'll
note,
never play them, but I'll get them. I'll take them. It's like PlayStation
Yeah.
Plus.
on that note of Bethesda W's, our next article comes from GameSpot's Otto Kratzky. I think I said his name right.
Yeah,
Right?
you did.
I want to make sure I say his name right. We know him. He's
Yeah,
a friend
homie.
of ours.
Yeah.
He's a homie.
The homie.
Good article, by the way, Otto. Microsoft is reportedly discussing a Fallout New Vegas sequel. So this comes from, I believe in the article it was Jeff Grubb.
Yeah.
He was saying that there is very, 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 very early talks of Microsoft approaching, I'm guessing, Obsidian.
So good.
I don't know. Maybe.
I will have to double check the Obsidian thing, but
least
they're
Bethesda.
approaching. Yeah, well, Bethesda won't. Bethesda's not Fallout New Vegas.
I'm just saying it's their thing. You know,
It's
like,
their
they have to talk
New
about it.
Vegas is Obsidian. That's 100% Obsidian's baby. And people will not want Bethesda to touch.
I'm just saying in terms of who owns it. It's them,
Yeah.
so they have to be in conversation.
I like, man, I think this is gonna be hard for Obsidian to focus on right now. I think it's if this was before, was that a game coming out? Awoken, I think it's called.
What,
They're coming out with
by
their
Obsidian?
own. Yeah, they're coming out with their
Avowed?
own.
Avowed.
Avowed. There you go. Yeah, Avowed. They're coming out with their own
Outer
Avowed game,
Worlds?
and then you have Outer Worlds 2.
So this game isn't going to come out to
Grounded.
2030.
There's
Yeah, this
Grounded,
game's not
too.
coming out for a very long time, but
Yeah.
I'm excited. I mean, what makes Fallout New Vegas unique compared to like a Bethesda game is that it's Obsidian's way of dialogue and how like basically why we like Cyberpunk 2077, right? That dialogue that actually feels like you're actually making a difference within the world and things change within the world, but giving you so much dialogue, like options that you can just at the end fight, just not have a fight at all and just convince somebody to just walk away. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Like that you don't see that in Bethesda games because Bethesda's all about the shooty, stab. Whereas Obsidian's more about the like immersing you in that world.
RPG. They're more RPG.
Yeah, they're very much more RPG. And that comes from their roots too, because I believe some of the people from Black Isle Studios, the original creators of Fallout, are part of Obsidian. So they already have the Fallout DNA in their systems, and given Fallout New Vegas 1, a lot of people don't really get the love for it because if you try to play it right now, it's a glitchy mess, and it's not the fault of Obsidian. It's technically the fault of Bethesda for only giving them a 10-month time to make or was it a 10-month or 12-month time to make this game and get it shipped out? Like they literally had no time to bug fix. They had no time to really do all the stuff they wanted to do for New Vegas. But the game came out and people loved it. And if we're only getting like 1/4 of the game made in such a crunch time, just imagine what they could do with as much time as they wanted, right? And that's what people wanted out of New Vegas 2. Give it back to Obsidian and let them take their time with it. And judging by Outer Worlds, I think they can nail the absolute shit out of a new Fallout game.
Yeah, but they have to finish the other games first.
Yeah, we're not seeing this for a while.
Yeah, I mean, the other game they're working on is that live service game. Grounded is still around as well. So
yeah,
I know that the Heart of Hearts, everyone really wants that group to work on the game. There's still, I think, a high likely chance it will be someone else. But we'll just have to wait and see.
I'm excited for Avowed, man. I'm excited they're turning into that. Bringing that game out. That's what I'm excited for.
Their Skyrim. Well, my thing is they were like the group that was like, all right, they're creating their Skyrim, they're creating their Fallout, but now they own Fallout and they own Skyrim. So it's sort of like, okay.
That was definitely one of those reactions, right?
Yeah. I wonder if this game was like already in development before they got purchased.
Oh, totally. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. We're definitely not seeing this game until after Elder Scrolls 6. 100%.
Oh, what? This you're talking about the
New Vegas
thing? Yeah.
Whatever that is too.
Yeah. Whenever Elder Scrolls 6 drops, it's a year out from there.
Right, Starfield is coming up this year. Well, allegedly. Right? November 11th.
Yeah. It seems like they really want to hit that date. So
because they put it out so far out. That's why, right? They put it so far out from what they announced. I don't think they're gonna hit that date. I think they'll probably push to 2023. But putting it into perspective, that would put Elder Scrolls at 2028, right?
I don't know. I'm gonna be 30 by the time Elder Scrolls comes out. I don't want to do that. So
2027, 2028 for Elder Scrolls, and then you throw Fallout New Vegas in there, probably at 2034, 2032.
2077 we'll get a Cyberpunk sequel.
Oh man, I am all for announcing games early, but man,
it's weird. But I want the one person I want to hear about when it comes to Fallout news is the other resident Fallout expert that we have here, Fee. Fee, what are your thoughts on this? What are your top level thoughts on a possibility of a New Vegas 2?
I'm very excited. I really enjoyed Fallout New Vegas. It will always have like a special place in my heart when it comes to the Fallout franchise because it just had such a different type of feel to it in comparison. Also, like, this isn't a spoiler. The game's like, 11 years old at this point. Waking up because you got shot in the head is the most badass motherfucking thing that a character could do. Is just like, you wake up from being shot in the head and they're like,
honestly, the intro's fucking sick to that.
That's so, oh my god,
so good. It's like you thought you must be on a 10-mile run of bad luck, but the truth is the chips were stacked against you from the very beginning. It just pops you in the fucking face.
Yeah. My god,
game was rigged from the start.
From the start, and just the challenges that you go through in that game to then the ultimate conclusion, depending on what you choose. And I'm not going to spoil it, but it includes a couple poker chips. So I'm just going to leave it at that. So no, it's always been like a really like solid game by itself. And felt like it could hold its own. So having a Fallout New Vegas 2 would be really, really good. I agree. I don't see this coming out anytime soon. Because this is literally in like rumor. If we see fucking Fallout New Vegas 2 at E3, I will eat my lip chap. I don't know. I'm very doubtful.
I'm very doubtful we'll see it within the next 3 years, honestly.
Lip chap? Lip chap.
Oh, I thought you said
Lip
my
balm.
lip chat. It's like,
No, I'm not gonna eat my
chat,
lip.
I'm gonna start a poll. Which lip is she gonna eat, upper or lower?
At the very most, I think we'll ever see from this game. So here, before I say this too, I just double checked the article here. So there's a quote from Grub. This is very early, but people have begun talks and say these words in sentences, and those words are Obsidian and New Vegas 2. Grub said. So
Gotcha.
it seems like Obsidian is going to be the team for this. Good, because they're the ones who did the first one. It wouldn't really be Fallout New Vegas without Obsidian. It would just be another Fallout game, obviously.
Yeah.
But obviously they're talking years away. But I think the most we'll ever see from this at all is probably maybe a title like they did with Outer Worlds. Maybe
And then never see it again.
Just a
Then
still
never see it
image.
again. Well, just like the title screen, just like the down, like the sound from
like,
New
Honestly-
Vegas.
just like they did Elder Scrolls or in Starfield, right? It's like
I don't know if I want that because that's just like,
I wouldn't want it either. I don't want them to announce it too early.
yeah.
But
I don't know. My only concern is like, do we see New Vegas before a new Fallout title, like an actual in-house Fallout title?
100%.
Because
Yeah, I think so.
you think we see Fallout New Vegas
'Cause
before then?
It would make sense because like Bethesda's working on Starfield. They're
Sure.
from Starfield, they're gonna move to Elder Scrolls 6. And by the time Elder Scrolls 6 actually comes out, I believe we would have already seen Avowed. We would already have seen Outer Worlds 2 because that's already been in development, right? And by the time those two come out, I think it's gonna line up around the time where like, okay, we're at least a year out from when Elder Scrolls 6 comes out to when maybe a New Vegas would probably.
That's the way too soon. Way too soon. In
my
my
thing
opinion.
here is
If you start the development like soon, then I think it'd be possible because Elder Scrolls 6 is not that far in development right now. It's
No,
getting
that's not.
developed, but it's
I really
it's not
don't think.
far at
I
all.
don't think Outer Worlds is that far into development either. In my opinion, they've announced it, but they've
announced
said.
it, but I think they've already said that
absolutely
they've been
said
working on
nothing. Yeah, but what does that mean? Like, what we've been working on it. This can't be like that big of a studio to like split
Again,
them into two.
I'm gonna say it. They are already working on 2 different games, so that's already false. But my thing here though, and I'm gonna bring it up again. I know that you seem to be expecting that this will be an Obsidian game, but they have no claim, if I'm not mistaken, to any of this. Because
They do. There's no way in hell Microsoft would approach any other studio to do a New Vegas 2. To do another Fallout, that's different. To do like, let's say like Fallout New York, right? They will obviously, yeah, they would probably do another studio. But if you're gonna use the New Vegas 2 title, it has to be Obsidian. There's no way they're gonna do anybody else other than Obsidian. New Vegas 2 is Obsidian. New Vegas is Obsidian's baby, 100%. Nobody else is doing that
Yeah.
game.
But Bethesda owns the name.
But Bethesda doesn't. I don't think Bethesda owns the name either.
No,
It doesn't really-
technically now they do.
It's-
Yeah,
At the end of the day, though, it's a spin-off. You know what I mean? It's not the
technically
main
Fallout
Microsoft
game.
owns it.
but it's
technically
not.
Microsoft owns it.
Technically Microsoft, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm just saying, like, the timeline just doesn't fit unless this is years out.
This is years out. Yeah, we're talking like 2030 at this point. 2030, 2032 at this point. Like, when do you think Elder Scrolls 6 is going to come out? Look at the gap between Fallout
But
4
that's not
and
Obsidian.
Starfield.
I understand that. Like, it's still going to be a fucking long time. Don't get me wrong. They also have the other studio working out on that. Was it 76? What is the name of that game? Fallout 76.
Fallout
I do
76.
agree with you, Frank, that they're not going to immediately go to a Fallout, like a mainline Fallout, because 76 exists, we'll probably get the next gen version of that before we do anything else. The reason I say that is because the game, while it was a hot pile of shit when it first came out, has sort of rebounded in some aspects, and they got a roadmap before Avengers. You know what I'm saying?
That's fucked up. When the game gets fixed and it has a roadmap faster than a dumpster fire.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, in that sense, that's why I still think like that's still going to be around, right? So I do think though that the next Fallout they do one is going to be probably this one, but I'm still skeptical like on the opportunity that it will be Obsidian. Granted, because I assume this conversation that they were having with Bethesda and when Obsidian was involved was nowhere near in the cards. That's my assumption. If I had to use
it's been in the
stakes logic on how that works.
the New Vegas 2 timeline is very weird because it's been in talks for years. Like people have been, Obsidian has tried to get it off the ground, Bethesda has tried to get it off the ground. It's a very big, like, we're working on this project, can't do it right now. We're working on that project, can't do it right now. You know what I mean? There is a little bit of hate between Bethesda and Obsidian for it because people really love New Vegas and people really don't like Fallout 3 in comparison. So Bethesda obviously has that little, like, well, it's our game. Why do you guys like the studio doing it better than us? You know what I mean? Like, type feel to it.
I feel like it's so hard to talk about this because, like, we know it's not going to be anything until like 2000. Like,
it's
like
cool.
If it happens, it would have to be
a report
way away from now. Yeah.
Unless they've been working on it secretly for years.
I'm sure they have story drafts and stuff like that.
I don't know
like,
if it'll be Obsidian still. Like,
I don't know why you keep saying it's not going to be Obsidian. Again,
I don't know why you say it is. To be honest,
if it's going to be New Vegas, it's got to be Obsidian.
But why? What is your logic there other than it's their baby? You can't just say just because it's their baby doesn't mean it will actually happen.
It's their game.
I don't know if you understand that.
There's no other logic to it. I don't know how you don't understand that. It's their baby. New Vegas has always been their thing. People want Obsidian to be New Vegas. It would be it would be absolutely shooting yourself in the foot if you put any other studio for New Vegas. I would understand for any other Fallout game. 100%. A regular Fallout game, give it to any other studio other Bethesda. I don't care.
I'm just saying.
Vegas you know what? Just give it to Playground Games. Fuck it. Yeah. You know, they're already making Fable. Give it to Playground Games.
Well, in the same way
they need to get Fable out. Leave them alone.
Yeah, Obsidian needs to get 2 games out before this.
But that's why I'm saying, like, there's most likely a situation. Hold on. There's most likely a situation where we're going to get a 343 Industries or a Coalition type of thing.
Correct. Not for this. No.
100%. But that's what I'm saying. Is it just because of, like, personal investment that it has to be this, or is this logical? That's the only thing I'm like.
Logically, it would not make sense for them to put any other studio on a New Vegas title other than Obsidian, because Obsidian's wanted to do this since day one. Microsoft knows it, but Bethesda knows it. Everybody in the gaming sphere knows it. Like, Obsidian is tied to New Vegas.
In some capacity, Obsidian's going to have, like, it might not be Obsidian completely doing it themselves, whatever that might be in some capacity, since they do have the powerhouse of Microsoft now. And we might be seeing a lot more of the games from Bethesda, like, coming out because they do have the powerhouse of Microsoft behind them now. Like, we don't know what's happening. So it's really kind of a toss-up because I would love to see Obsidian work on the game. I know Obsidian... Like, I agree with Frank. Like, Fallout New Vegas was definitely one of Obsidian's babies.
I agree with him too.
Absolutely phenomenal. I also kind of agree with Mario. I'm concerned that with the acquisition and everything that's been going on over the past 6 months, we might be seeing a different face of Fallout New Vegas, which may cause some hostility in some capacity. I would love for Obsidian to be the ones who are doing, like, Fallout New Vegas too. And I'm not just trying to sit here and be the mediator, but I also kind of see the two parts as kind of like trying to think on the outside is like, okay, like, this is what I want. This is what I know other Fallout fans would enjoy, because New Vegas has a different feel than other Fallout games, and we want that particular feel to continue on. And there is kind of a problem if we bring in specific, like, we have the same people who worked on, like, Fallout 3 and then Fallout 4 having the same type of voice, because it might not just read the same. Because New Vegas was, like, sure, the Fallout games in total is, like, it's essentially post-apocalyptic, but, like, New Vegas had this grit that has not been seen in the other Fallout games, and hopefully they continue, but who knows? It's going to be, like, in 2050.
Yeah. So I double checked some news really quick before we move on. So Avowed is supposed to be again, this is not confirmed, but Avowed is scheduled for a late 2022, early 2023 launch, right? Outer Worlds 2 has been in development since September of 2019.
Yeah.
So I mean, if this game releases this year, Avowed, which I don't think it is, probably early next year, they're already basically if you look at, like, a 4-year dev structure, they're already halfway done with Outer Worlds 2.
How long did Outer Worlds 1 take to make?
Well, keep in mind that's a game from the ground up. They already have
Just
assets
curious.
and stuff.
I know. I'm
for-
just curious how long it took for them to get that going.
Uh,
Because they were doing
I would
that and grounded at the same time, so that's why I was wondering.
yeah, I would have to check to see when that launched, but I think it's far out 100%. Like I would say easily 5 to 10 years from now that we would ever see anything from this. But I don't think it's as far out as you guys think.
That's pretty far out, to be fair.
But you guys are saying like 2040, 2050.
I never said that.
I'm
That
just
was,
joking.
I'm
2030
saying
is-
if this was
20
something that was like actually gonna get the ball rolling, I would immediately say because of all the things and all the places where we're clearly are heading into, I don't think we're getting that anytime soon.
Right now, for me, 0 balls are rolling. There's no.
No,
ball
I agree.
rolling right now.
Probably no.
Obviously, no.
zero.
From that, even from that thing, it's just
But, like,
people are just talking.
For instance,
Yeah.
I just looked up like, okay, so I wanted to see who obviously did Fallout 4 and who did Fallout 76, right? Fallout 4 is mainline Bethesda, not correct if I'm correct, right?
Yes.
76 is Bethesda, but it's also Game Studios Austin, if I'm not mistaken. That's
Yeah.
two different
Austin.
studios.
Yes.
Team, yes.
So that's
Well,
what
they
I'm
work in
saying.
conjunction for it.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, for instance, if Bethesda is working on right now Starfield, which will be done soon, hopefully, knock on wood, then they're going to be moving on straight to Elder Scrolls. In the meantime, that's an opportunity for Austin to work on something else.
I don't think Austin
That's just-
is going to be
again-
working on a game
again,
like Fallout.
That is just my, like, if you're going to have studio that's not working on 76, if 76 continues to keep going, that is
But
just,
is New Vegas a mainline Fallout though? It's not a mainline Fallout.
it's not a
76 is not a
mainline,
mainline Fallout.
but it's a side project that still could be the same size, to be
I mean,
honest.
also just as a heads up, they're still updating 76,
No,
and
yeah,
they
I know
are
that.
about to
They're gonna-
release a
they're
new patch in April or May.
Yeah.
I think
They're gonna
it's a
give-
huge expect. Yeah,
I think they're giving 76 the Elder Scrolls Online treatment, or they're just going to keep updating it
Yeah.
for as long as they can.
I think so too.
Yeah, and that studio, I don't think that studio's really worked on anything other than that, from what I know.
I'm not sure. Let me take a look. But even so,
Yeah.
that's just my, if I had to think of it on a critical eye of not being a fan of the series and not being like, they have to do it because they have to do it. I understand there is that aspect of it. But I'm like, the timeline, just because of how much time there has to be, we will not be seeing this game for, like you're saying, for 10 years. I do agree with that. Everything you're saying, I agree with.
I would
I'm
say
just,
5 to 10.
you know, I'm just saying it from that perspective specifically.
Yeah.
This game does not exist yet, guys.
They worked
I-
on
I-
And
Doom.
it may not, and it may not. So like, just
Yeah.
gonna
Oh,
put
they
that
were
in
on
perspective.
Doom.
I just randomly want to like point out that like the winter plans for Fallout 76 is called Nuka World on Tour, and it has a Mr. Handybot with a shark fin on its head with a flaming sword in one hand and something that kind of resembles either a bottle or some sort of like weird blunt
Handybot?
object. No, it's God, it's I want to jump back into 76 at some point for sure.
I do want to eventually try it out. I own it twice.
Yeah, I
for
want to
some
jump
reason.
into 76. I don't think I ever played 76. So
I'm
played
saying
it
one of
for
our
a
free
grand total of 20
weekends when
minutes.
Harv gets he
Shit
joins
together.
us back to the land of the living. We should definitely figure out when.
I wish place in 76. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
with that Elden Ring.
I had it installed for a long time.
So did I.
Yeah.
Now we need to do it.
I still have it installed, I think. On Bethesda launcher though.
Nice.
I think I have it on my old computer, but not right now.
On that note, we're gonna move on to our next piece of article here. We got a first look at the PSVR, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
There it
Hopefully
is.
Mario-
Controllers look awesome. I
There
love
it
the
is.
controllers.
Hopefully Mario's putting
Look
it on
really
the
good.
screen there.
There
It
it
looks like something.
Those controllers
And
look really,
Demo.
really cool.
Yeah. It looks really good. It looks comfortable. The controllers look like they're gonna work really well. I like the one little cord on the side there. It looks like it won't get in the way at all. Yeah. I don't know if I'll buy it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll buy it right away or at all.
There's still quartz. I vote nay.
Yeah. The problem with this is it seems to be doing inside out tracking, which is nice. I don't know like the extent of that because obviously I'm so used to the Oculus system and the way they do their Guardian and stuff and everything like that. But I hope it's good. I mean, the problem with this is that is probably going to be really good. The VR2 is going to be amazing. It's going to wash your car, do your taxes, it's going to do everything. But it's not going to matter if Sony does what they did with the VR1 and not fucking support it at all. Period. They need to come out with a killer app that day one that will drive people to actually get a VR headset, like Half-Life Alyx. You know what I mean? Like you bought an Index because of Alex, or you bought a VR headset because of Alex. A lot of times, and there hasn't been another game out there, in my opinion, that has reached that level of care and attention to VR for the VR space yet. And Sony is probably one of the biggest companies to definitely drive that, because they have all these studios under their things. But if you're not telling your studios, hey, can you make a good VR game? It's different from like Hitman VR, right? Where like you can tack on a VR version and call it a day. And some people will have fun with it, some people will hate it. But if you have a full game designed to be played in VR and take advantage of what VR has to offer, it's a totally different experience, and it feels really, really good. There's stuff in Alex today where I'm like, man, I wish we can do that in games today, but you just can't. But I mean, if Sony doesn't Sony doesn't get the ball rolling on games getting produced for this, or content getting produced for this, or anything, then there's really no point in putting out another one. At the end of the day, it's a $500 piece of plastic that's just going to sit on your shelf all day.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, I had it the first one for a bit, and there's some experiences that I did enjoy early on, but none of them were, I would say, the exclusive ones, other than Batman VR at the time, but that's no longer exclusive. Of course, I would never try the Resident Evil one because fuck that. But I did try the small little demo that they had, the kitchen demo, I think was what it was called. And the experience of VR is, I think, unparalleled in terms of like what you can do. It's so crazy of all the things you possibly can do. We're just still limited on so many factors. And I hope that the aspect of that is software, right? I hope software really improves. One of the games that won best VR titles, if I'm not mistaken, actually over the weekend for DICE, which we'll get to in a bit, was Resident Evil, an old game. You know, they were able to convert old games and somewhat make that a palatable thing for VR. And so I would love for that to continue. I think what they did with Resident Evil 7 as a starting point was a good idea. As you said, Hitman has that as well. I'm hoping that more games offer that as an alternative. That would be really cool. Another way to experience the game that you love. Yeah. But
those
also
would be cool.
Original things. I think showing off that Matrix demo earlier, I would love to live in that world. I think there's elements of that I would love to see. But yeah,
that demo would not be able to handle VR.
No. I just meant like the on rails stuff.
I just mean in general. Like I was just thinking back in that demo, like just driving around that demo, that thing chugs now.
But yeah, I just think that this right now is just a thing that's going to happen. I don't know if I can invest in it without titles.
Sony would probably put out something dumb like, hey, this is our Sony metaverse.
You bring that up. I would love PlayStation Home. Bring that back.
It's not. We have PlayStation Home at home. It's called VR Chat. I don't know what do you guys think on this whole thing? I mean, I don't know how, if you guys even touched the PSVR one.
Did you ever have VR at all? Either of you? Any of the VR?
I own one. VR.
Oh, you do?
Oh, you own a PSVR fee?
I do. I own a PSVR.
Give me your experiences from start to finish. What is your experiences with the PlayStation VR?
The last time I played the PSVR, I played Resident Evil 7.
Sounds about right.
Sounds
about right.
It was a not so great experience. Should not have done that. Traumatized me a little bit. No, I think it was a good, I enjoy it. If there was a game that I really wanted to hop back into and actually play it, sure. It's a lot to set up. Yeah. It is sitting pretty in a box right now. It is a lot to set up. It is an event. And then I don't as someone who gets motion sick playing video games, I definitely don't mind using it, but it's just the fact that you feel like you're so restricted because of the amount of things that are on you, because you have the headset and then you have a few other things and you have the pack. It's insane.
Yeah.
I've seen some really good experiences. A friend of mine played it because he got to stand beside an X-Wing and cried because he never thought that he'd be able to get to a point where he was able to do that, and he cried. Was kind of concerned that he was crying with the VR on, had to ask him to take the VR off while he was crying. But once he composed himself, he was able to go fly around, and he was really excited about that. So no, I think it was a good concept in theory when it first came out, and I was hoping that the new one was going to be wireless. But I guess that was
It was a pipe dream, apparently.
it was a pipe dream. Like, so now kids, get your extra long HDMI cable because you are strapped in again. But it's not 3 cords this time, it's only one.
It's only one that won't destroy your HDR, but like on your TV and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be like one USB-C to the front of it.
Right to the front, which is really smart because then you don't have that big ass box. That'd be HDMI's. I think this is a smart way to do this wired VR, especially if you need to be connected. But yeah, I currently am a fan of the wireless. When I had the Quest, I enjoyed the little things that I was able to do with it. Frank is now the owner of my Quest. But at the same time, yeah, I'm still excited about VR. Don't get me wrong. It's just that there wasn't an experience where I was like, yeah, I need to put this on. I mean, the biggest thing I used my VR set for was watching Falcon and Winter Soldier. I watched it with VR. I just watched it like this.
Just lay in the bed.
Just lay in my bed.
That
tears.
Honestly, the sickest way to use VR.
Tears rolling on my face. It was fucking great.
Yeah. And in case you're watching the Sony, just keep in mind, at least with VR, because I've dealt with almost mainly every iteration of VR, other than like Vive. Obviously the first Vive, right? Or the Vive, or the first Rift too as well. There's 4 very, very, very big problems with VR that people really need to figure out before it even becomes mainstream. That's cost. It needs to be cheap. It needs to be accessible for people to buy it. It can't be more than a console, because at that point, just buy a fucking console and play a console. Setup, what Fee said, if I had to spend 30 minutes to get the fucking thing working in a game, by 30 minutes, I'm already done. I'm like, I don't care anymore. That's the one problem I have with the Quest, but we'll talk about that in another podcast. Room size and games. Those are 4 distinct problems that the VR needs to overcome in order to even think about becoming a mainstream in the household. And until they figure out those 4 problems, which not everybody has, even Facebook still has problems with that.
Room size is more on the person than it is on the actual VR headset.
Well, I mean,
like you can extend a room size.
Yeah, but not everybody can just like rearrange their room for VR. That's my point.
Yeah, but I feel like that might be more on the user than anything else. Like, right? Because like you can't just make room.
That's what I mean. Like, games shouldn't be that required on having that much room. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't have to have a 16 by 16 room for playing fucking fake Tarkov on your VR headset or Beat Saber. You know what I mean? That shouldn't be required. But until they fix all those, VR headsets are not going to be too big. Hopefully, Sony has already thought about this, and at least with some of their specs, they seem like they have. But we'll see. We will see. But I'm going to hand it off to Mario for this last one, because I know you wanted to talk about it, my friend. And this is the last tidbit for the night.
Yeah, in conjunction with an article that you have over here at Kotaku by Artie Noctis, I'll say, Square Enix is impossible to please. Guardians of the Guardians of the Galaxy sales. Apparently, shocker to Square Enix, specifically Montreal. We have fans here of Square Enix. I love Square Enix too. They're very not very pleased with the sales of the current Guardians of the Galaxy game, given the fact that it did decently, but not to their standards. It did absolutely great critically. It won awards at the Game Awards. And to combat that, following this report, last night, there was, of course, the annual DICE Awards, which was hosted by Greg Miller and Jessica Chobot. And guess who won quite a few awards? That's right. Guardians of the Galaxy. Fuck you. That game, surprised quite a few, has won some of the major awards there, including the biggest turnout, I think, was Ratchet and Clank actually won, I think, a lot of awards. But the big title, the big game of the year, guess what? Went to Joseph Ferris. It Takes Two.
Oh yeah, dude, let's go.
He wasn't there at the event. There was somebody else there representing him, but he said fuck, so it's the same. Which wanted to bring that up because as much as I love me some Ubisoft games, they still set some pretty crazy high standards when it comes to the Western games. This is not the first time we've heard this. We've heard this about the Tomb Raider series, specifically Shadow of the Tomb Raider was one of the bigger ones. They talked about it even with whatever the second one, Rise of the Tomb Raider. I get those titles all mixed up because they're not good titles. But the games, depending on your, what you enjoy, are pretty fun for the most part, even the worst ones. But only I think half of us have played the Guardians of the Galaxy. I know Frank dabbled in it. I know.
I'm like at the end of the game.
Yeah,
Is it?
Did you get to the ice place yet?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, we gotta talk because there's a I popped so hard for one specific character. Anyways, was this a game you were ever even considering? I know that Guardians of the Galaxy are obviously a huge IP in Marvel. Given the fact that it's winning awards and honestly pretty praised for its story, I know that Harv's going to be busy playing Elden Ring. I'm not even really asking him. Was there something that you guys would even consider checking out, even though it's basically on sale now every week?
I mean, we're currently stalling Harv from Elden Ring.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've noticed.
I'm stalling.
We've been dragging this on for as long as we could.
We're at 3 hours in.
I think this is the longest podcast we've ever had.
Yeah, the discussion's just too good.
Too good. I don't know. I have other games that are currently in the line of what I want to play. And it looked cool at E3 when I saw it. Mind you, I did make a comment at the time that the graphics still seemed a little bit like I felt like when it came to Square Enix at E3, the graphics were just not to par to what we've seen in other games and different studios. That included your game that you wanted, Harv, which was the Final Fantasy 16. Didn't think that it was like up to par in comparison to even some of the I'm just saying the graphics.
No, it's the engine that makes 14, right? That's what it's an upgraded engine of 14.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, but also I just want to say, guess what's about to get updated? The graphics with Final Fantasy 14. But I just feel as though I don't know. It didn't draw my attention. I may watch some reviews and maybe kind of contemplate it. Maybe if it becomes free at some point, maybe I'll try it. But I don't know. Me and superhero video games are just
fair enough.
Shrug.
Fair enough.
I felt the same way. Like, honestly, I haven't played any of the Spider-Man games. I haven't played any of the Batman games. Superhero games are just not. By superhero, I mean like in the MCU and DC universe. So I apologize. Square Enix, Montreal. Please do not hate me, but I'm probably not going to play that game.
That's fair. The game that I would love for you to play that is a superhero game, I think the Batman Telltale series, I think you would actually have a good time with.
Okay, yes, Telltale games, absolutely.
How dare you have opinions?
How dare you have opinions?
I do want you to play a Final Fantasy game, but I don't know which one I would like start you on, honestly, when it comes to Final Fantasy.
Do 7. Do the one that everybody do the one that everybody has played.
7 remake isn't completed though.
I've been interested to try to play 10 or something.
But seven remake, you don't get the full story.
What about 10?
10 you do, yeah. 10 you do.
7, they'll be happy. I'm sorry, I'm not speaking for you. They'll just be happy that there'll be another game that they can play that's in the future.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, most people in the Final Fantasy, fandom, at least from what I've ever witnessed, other than Harv, because I think Harv is the first person who can actually tell me what happens in Final Fantasy. Most people just play 7 and pretend they've played the other games.
Yeah, right.
My friend.
What happens?
No, I've seen charts on how Final Fantasy universe, but no, I.
Let me try to explain what I remember when I played 8, because I don't really remember a lot.
Oh,
8,
no.
It was a guy with a gun sword fighting a dude on a mountain for some from Ladies' Honor. He gets a cut on his face. They're friends, though, I think. And then there's an army.
You're just talking about the opening cinematic. You're literally just talking about the opening cinematic.
I'm talking about the
Nobody can ever tell me what happens in these games because all they remember is like the beginning 5 minutes of it. And I'm like, did you play it? And they're like, I don't remember.
First of all, I played disc 1. All right, so I got that far.
You're literally when you hit the start button and that opening cinematic starts. That's all you're describing right now.
I'm just telling you that's what the beginning of the game is, and that's what the game is for a long time until all of a sudden you start playing as these soldier boys.
I love it.
Anyways, that's my experience of older. I did play a lot of 9 recently because I got on the Switch. But
That's a good game. That's a good game.
yeah, it's a cool story. But yeah, I'm happy that it's getting its recognition. I really hope that's going to be enough to get a sequel, because I really want a sequel, because I really like the way that they handled telling that story in such a good time. But more on the DICE Awards, which I don't know, no one's watched here other than me. It's okay.
I saw the winners. I saw the winners.
More on stalling Harv from playing Elden Ring.
Yes. The two biggest things that I really want to talk about was actually they had some Lifetime Achievement Awards here, and I just want to bring them up specifically. Of course, the first thing they wanted to do was they inducted Ed Boon from the co-creator of Mortal Kombat into the Hall of Fame over there at the AIAS. That is cool because I'm a massive fan of all the Mortal Kombat stuff, in terms of me growing up playing the game, watching the movies, the cartoon when I was a kid. I remember watching that on the Telemundo channel. I, of course, grew up with the later half when they got into 3D in terms of after DC, when they fought Mortal Kombat versus DC. That's when I jumped back into the series and then forward from there. And yeah, they just honored his life up until this point. Matt Booty from Xbox was the one that inducted him, because he actually gave him his start over there at Midway before they be turned into NetherRealms. It was a really awesome speech, and really a cool thing to see, because yeah, it's gaming history, and the fact that this series of Mortal Kombat has been through a lot of things other than iterations of the game. But don't forget that this is one of the games that gave like R ratings to games,
It's a big game.
It's a big thing of history.
I can't really think of anybody other than anybody who's alive right now, obviously, who's more deserving than Ed Boon right now. And I would probably take a bullet for Hideo Kojima.
Of course.
The amount of, even if you don't even like the Mortal Kombat games in terms of just like fighters and stuff like that, right? You have to understand the amount of just forward innovation that Mortal Kombat brought. It brought the more mature titles to our doorsteps. It brought stuff like gaming with your friends and more co-op interactions and stuff like that. Like given other games were doing it at the time, but nobody was doing it like Mortal Kombat. Nobody was doing it like that as well as they were.
Yeah,
they hit gold, and they changed the gaming sphere forever.
Their cultural reverence is everywhere, especially when it comes to get over here. You know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm referring to. Or toasty. Whenever you hear that pop up in anything. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm so happy that happened. The other major thing that they've only given out 7 times. I'm not sure how many years this award, but they specifically said that they only have given out this award 7 times. And they gave it to Phil Spencer, who was honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award in gaming, for all of his everything that he's contributed to, which he joked about. He was part of Microsoft Money back in the day, and some other things that they used to be a part of, all the way then to being head on changing things on Xbox. And yeah,
well deserved, man. Well deserved.
Absolutely. He gave a speech, which was very awesome. The biggest thing was he was very much talking about inclusivity in the gaming and toxicity, and really pointing, without saying Bobby Kotick, he was straight up saying, like, this is we're not doing this. It's not the industry for that. It's for everybody, but everything. And he's the only human being that could say that is on the head of a company where I fucking believe him. And if he lied to me, I'd be very upset. But he's the only person where I've actually was like, yeah, I believe every single word that you're saying. I understand. I feel like you mean it. And I feel like there's some actual positive change happening over there at Microsoft. And you see that. You saw what he done. He stepped in. There's even a great story of like how a guy, Todd Howard was the one that introduced the offer to him. Not the offer, the thing,
the intro to him.
The intro to him. Thank you. And one of the jokes was, he didn't reference Don Matrick, but he was talking about that guy left, and they said like they were freaking out at Microsoft, but then they're like, don't worry. They gave the job to Phil, and they knew that everything was going to be okay. And sure enough, he totally 180'd the entire perception of Xbox to the point where it's honestly my go-to console right now. Ever since I got my Xbox Series X, it's the only console that I immediately boot up right away when I watch TV or when I go ahead and play video games, because it's just the ease of use, the access of games, the library, the history, all that has been maintained in consideration. Cloud saves, which I was bitching about earlier. Absolutely well deserved to Phil Spencer. In my opinion, if anyone else has anything to say about him, let me know.
Phil Spencer is one of us. That's all I have to say. He's probably the one CEO who I probably wouldn't say eat when we're saying eat the rich.
Nah, instead I'll be like pass the blunt rotation. You know,
he killed evil. He killed evil tonight.
He killed evil. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree
And
with
on
Mario
that
Yeah, on that note.
Okay.
On that note, Greg Miller said, "Fuck Bobby Kotick." That was cool. That's the only thing I want to say about that.
Yeah, fuck Bobby Kotick.
Fuck Bobby Kotick.
Moving on from that, we now have a 3-hour long article here that I've gotten ready on the side here, so that Harv cannot play Elden Ring anymore. No.
Here's my outro, guys. Here, I'm going to send you a video, Mario. I'm out. Peace.
You're going to fade away like Frank did last week?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, but just because it's been brought up in the chat, fuck Bobby Kotick. I don't give a fuck what these people say. I'll say what I want. Fuck Bobby Kotick, you little bitch. I'll slap you on the street if I ever see you, sack of shit.
You ain't shit.
I'm going to slap you on the street.
If I could put fuck Bobby Kotick in the poll, I would. They wouldn't let me. Is there any other news, Frank? Is that about it?
That's it. We're done. We are done.
We're
3 hours done. Harv, you might as well just start your street, get your stream started up so we can fucking
get yourself booted up because I'm gonna go ahead and give you your outro. Harv, where can people find you on the net? Where can people find you right now? Today? Right now?
You can right now, twitch.tv/beard in there. Where I'm finally going to start Elden Ring, and I'm so excited because I've been waiting for so long for this fucking game. And I've not started it up for 2 days because I've had it for 2 days. I had the play button since Thursday 3 p.m. Pacific time. It's been there. I just couldn't launch it because I had work. I had other priorities that I had to take care of. I had to be a responsible person. For
now you get to have fun.
And now I get to play Elden Ring all fucking weekend. I don't know who you people are anymore. Who are these people? I don't know.
All the edging is over. He's all set.
Oh, please don't ever rephrase it like that ever again.
No. I have been so excited for this. I have been pretty much media blackout now since like the game has been out.
Yeah,
I can't really watch
review, right? You watched my video review.
I watched your TikTok review. Yes. Yeah, that one. I
can handle a minute.
Yeah, like there was a 7-minute video that came out that really spoiled a lot of the bosses and stuff. Apparently, I'm like, nah, I'm staying away from that shit. I'm staying away.
Stay far away.
Also, coming next week, my week review is going to be the roundup episodes that I put out last week in gaming is all going to be back next week because of how crazy the last 2 weeks have been. So that's going to be coming out as well next Friday. So we're back into the regular schedule programming.
Fantastic. Go ahead, get your beer ready, and then get your stream set up because we're going to pass it off to you once we're done here. Fee, where can people find you and find your game? Can they find your game right now? Is that
people can find my game. You can play my game right now.
Link now. In the chat. Link
there you go. You can play it. It's called Mission Help.
If you ready to go.
Absolutely. No.
Right now.
It was just a quick explanation. The theme was ancient, and so we had a new aged kind of robot in a overgrown city, and it was a game that we made in a week. There were a few things that I want to go back and add later on. Example, there is a little robot guy that you hang out with, and yeah,
he's got little bunny ears.
Little buddy ears. That's not my game, buddy. But
no, he's got the little robot's got two little things.
Yeah, super cute, super cute. So yeah, that is the game. Oh my goodness, yeah. So I made all these graphics.
This looks amazing.
She was sitting in Discord for a good hour or two trying to figure out how to make a rusted door.
Yeah,
it was good. It was really funny.
So yeah, it is a game jam that's done every month that we do. And the next one's actually in 2 weeks because that's how the fucking things lined up. But yeah, it's a Godot Wild Jam. Thank you so much. So we plan on doing it again, and hopefully later on in the year get to do Lunar Dare, which is a very famous game jam that's 72 hours every 3 months. But yeah, you can check out my game there.
Also, if you guys want to give her moral support during that time, send her Wally pictures, and it really helped.
Fuck you. That was yeah. No. Also, if you want, oh my god, random side note, if you go to the main page of my game, there's a YouTube video of a kid playing that game.
Yeah, no, that's what I was playing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, someone's playing your
Apparently
game.
he was in class.
He was in class. He was in fucking class. They're talking about algebra homework. This kid was recording a YouTube video. The fucking drive. My God.
It's about
Anyway,
drive. It's about power.
we say hungry, we devour. But yeah, no, it was crazy.
It's good. It's good.
Mario has died.
It's good.
I'm currently on
You,
the elevator right now.
you always have to
You have
like
to finish
off
it.
that lyrics. Yeah, you always have to finish off the lyrics.
You have to finish off the lyrics. Anyway, yeah. So that was the second game that we created. We did another one last month. It is broken AF, so please do not play that game. But yeah, that one, it's start to finish. You get to play it. So feel free to let me know what you think. And
I forgot I added a death counter to my stream yesterday.
I'm not shocked. And you can also check me out over on Twitch. Thank you so much, Crafty, for linking my Twitch channel. I do plan on next Game Jam actually doing some live streams of me working on some of the artwork and some of the sprites and stuff like that, because I feel like that'd be a good way to like be able to show off the game. And a lot of people who are working on the Game Jam also live stream. So I want to start doing that and get back into the swing of it, because I feel like a lot of my time recently hasn't been video game related. It's been more art related. And I would like to share that with you guys. So definitely check me out there. Also check me out at this Game Source Network if we ever get back, we get logged back in again because we were locked out this week. We're going to be talking about Stadia next week on Wednesday. So definitely check us out there. And Anime Nation on every other Thursday, where we talk about Attack on Titan, because I need more depression in my life. You do. This man, side note, Harv tried to Harv was going to surprise me by watching all of season 1, and then he told me on stream, after he told his stream like a few days earlier while he was drunk, and he's just like, I was
dude, it's so hard to get back into anime again, you know, like it's like I'd rather watch the West Wing, you know.
I've been waiting for this man to watch Attack on Titan, because apparently he was going to watch it and finish season 1.
Sunday I'll watch it.
I mean, I'm
not
done
watching that together anymore. Can I just watch this then?
I mean, I want to watch it with you guys. I don't have any plans on Sunday currently. I don't think.
This is the thing. We gotta coordinate this shit. I'm just like, at this point, I'm just like,
Sunday.
we're gonna be in fucking summertime, just trying to finish the first season of fucking Attack on Titan at this rate.
Oh, we watched 9 episodes the first hangout.
For the first hangout. When's the second hangout?
Should,
in the summertime.
We should, and this is not me stalling for more time to make our wait. We should set up we will talk about setting up times of shows that we can watch together with our audience in our Point in Progress Discord, which of course you can find us at Point in Progress. And I think that would be a good opportunity to watch movies and TV shows. We shall set those up ahead of time when we know that those days are usually our free times.
Yes, Sunday this weekend, I am free.
Sorry for people listening to this on a Tuesday or a Monday.
Whoops. Whoopsie frickin' daisies.
Oopsies.
Whoopsie.
Next, if you guys are listening to this and you're like, man, well, should have checked out the Discord. Discord link is in the description below, where you can hang out with us and watch crazy movies and sometimes just random nonsense in the Discord.
Yeah, there was a point in time where I was going to watch all the Scream movies, and that never happened. Well, maybe in the future. Maybe when Scream 5 comes out on Blu-ray. Who knows?
There you go.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Fee. Frank, where can people find you on the net?
Oh, I'm playing Fee's game.
Of course, you can find that at show. So,
you can find me at Twitch at Kestrel1A. where I talk shit about video games. I will be making some more videos. I might just fuck around, make a why you should play. What is this game called? Mission Help video.
Yeah. Oh my god, you should. That'd be so.
Oh my god! If you did a let's play of it, just record your camera, record the game.
I don't know about a let's play, but I think I'm the gears are already turning. What I could do with let's play this, because I kind of like this. This is not that bad.
Thanks.
This is great. No, I like this game. No, this game's pretty good.
On that note,
I can see why this was 11. 100%. Like, this is great.
You can find me at Night Mute City on Twitter, where I talk my shit. I am also over there at Tech Raptor doing videos weekly. I actually have to write this week's video and maybe record it tonight. It's already really late, so I might do it in the morning. Where I do the reviews, but I also do a weekly show over there where I talk about the news in a minute. It's a fun little exercise. You can also find me doing Harv's TikToks, which have been a lot of fun. We'll be getting probably a lot more Elden Ring content for the next year, so we'll see how that goes. We're also, with that, I have obviously now to reiterate the announcement from the beginning of the show. Model Citizens is back. Model Citizens show is returning. We are starting back. We're rebooting it to episode 1. If you did want to see the backlog of episodes that still exists, that exists on its own YouTube channel. You just type in Model Citizens Show. Going forward, Model Citizens will be on our current channel at Point in Progress. So it'll be a one-off every month or so. If we decide that, hey, we were going to do 2, we'll do 2. But for now, we're only doing 1 a month. So expect that as a non-reoccurring thing, but as a fun little thing that happens. And MCU University is up and going. Blade Trinity was a dumpster fire that was a lot of fun. So we watched that. That is available. You can watch that over on our channel as well. The next episode for that is Electra. I have a lot of shit happening on apparently. And I got a job now, so I have to find a way to manage expectations for all of this shit. So we'll figure that out. But
hey, what's the code to the weapons lab? Come on, just tell me it.
Anyways, this has been Point in Progress. Thank you so much for everyone enjoying, and I want everyone to know progress has been made.